somebody that's going to be our city manager. We want them to represent our community. Anytime you hear the word manager, that means that's the person in charge, the person who knows what's going on. One of the things I really valued with Mr. Taylor is when you come to him, if he didn't know something, he would go to who he knew, whether city attorney, planner, or whatever. It's not just, I don't know, you don't know.
Where are we going with this?
Well, so we want somebody that's going to actually represent us and make us proud.
Okay.
You know, so they want to have a good track record of what they was doing at their previous community, which most of them, I don't think we have much people that qualify in our community that will actually apply. And that said, when you look at their track record, you know, you look at things like, do they pay their taxes? They're sneaking out on the community by not paying their taxes because they think they're above that, and they don't represent anybody. My thing is, we heard it from a few different people going with the MML. I think that's something we really want to look at doing sooner or later. Because working in retail through corporate America, Ali's been there with me in the past at a job. I would love to give Linda that proper opportunity to train whoever her successor is. And if she is still in the shoes of Thad, well, he's in absence, and we're hunting down somebody new, if she's ready to retire in March, we still got to fill her shoes, and I would really love her to be the person to train that person, not somebody else. Because working in the retail world and working in construction, a lot of times when your job is up, when you quit, retire, and move on, the person that filled in for your shoes got a rocky shape because they were not properly trained to do what you did. And then people are like, well, why are you not doing this? Linda already did that. Well, nobody told me Linda did that. So how can I fill Linda's shoes if I was not properly trained?
Good thought. Good thought. Mr. Purville, your opinion for MML or not?
I'm in the balance on that.
Okay. Thank you. Mrs. Nixon?
So what it sounds like we need to do tonight is compile a master list, decide how we're going to get it out to the public, to pick, say, 5 communities. When we meet back here in 2 weeks, hopefully, then we can take the list from the community and get rolling with the MML. That's what I feel like I'm hearing from everyone in the room. Does that sound?
What's the 5 communities?
The 5 traits from the community that they feel are...
The 5 most important things.
Yeah.
Here's the brainstorming.
Right,
We're going to compile the list and then choose the top one.
I'd be curious to see how many responses you get from the community.
Well, hopefully many.
And we have,
Well, I know.
Apathy runs rampant.
I know.
we're trying.
Your thoughts on MML?
I don't disagree that MML is a very good way to do things like background checking. And again, that price tag we saw is a range based upon the services. Maybe I was wrong. I felt like we were capable of having our community give us input without an MML person standing here asking these questions. Because that's the first thing they do is they come and say, we'd like to request from the community. I'm what you're looking for. So that's what we're trying to do. I think they are the most qualified for background check, for publishing. They have the website, for all of that legal aspect of it. Yeah, I think we use them for part of it.
Paul?
Mr. Mayor, a lot of the things on this list are benchmark items, things that you wouldn't even consider hiring a person if they didn't have. So I think marking the benchmark items, and that's just our very bottom line.
Our floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where you got to start, and then over and above that, what you would normally expect someone to have, then that's the things you need to focus on. And that's what MML needs to know to be able to move forward with our community input. So this is things over and above the benchmarks.
That's what we're control of what we require, but what the community wants to see us to add to that. That's why we're here tonight.
And just one more piece on that person connected to the community. On the previous, when we were searching and we hired that was one of the attributes that came up on that particular screening. And as I said, Roger Valnap was one of the people. There was also a gentleman, and I'm not going to remember his name, but who had graduated from Cedar Springs High School and then had went on to become a city planner, city manager person. He was one of the people who was also on the short list that applied for that job and wasn't ultimately chosen, but was directed in that direction because of the connections to the community. So that is kind of a reoccurring theme that we heard. To again expand on the question, and whoever it was, I can't remember the ask, if Mr. Taylor, he did not, but we're not saying any one of these is a deal breaker. We're trying to find, what are you looking for?
Okay. Mrs. Paul, your turn.
Like I said, I was very happy and impressed with all of the comments we got tonight and the direction and the help from our citizens. And we're going to be doing the best we can to, and I'm sure we're going to be incorporating MML in this process. We have to, we need to. We're just going to have to keep working on this a little bit. And if we didn't do something like this tonight and heard from all you folks and staff, we would just be blindsided by MML person coming in here and saying, here, this is what you get. So I'm glad you're all here, and hopefully let's continue this interaction because it really helps.
Ms. Paul, you're for that.
I'm for it.
Thank you. Mr. Clark.
So we're speaking especially to the MML inclusion in our process.
Right.
Yeah, I think that they are probably the premier organization in Michigan for handling this kind of process. Pardon me?
They do it every day.
Yeah, they do. Now,
Every day, that's
now,
what the-
on that note, I've attended, along with Mr. Pankhausen back here, when he was there, several MML meetings, and the information that they dispense, I think, is timely, thorough, extremely helpful, especially when you're a novice like I was, especially when you go to that first meeting. But they're also a political organization. They're not just there to help organizations. They have their own agenda as well. And you have to be careful when you work with them in certain avenues that you don't just get sucked in. We had a vote here last year about something. They wanted the municipalities to support a certain item that was going to be voted on. Road. We didn't have them to support it, but they had an agenda, which I'm sure they supported, and I thought was the right way, and that was fine. In this item, when we're looking for somebody to fill the shoes of manager, I don't think there is any political agenda. I don't think that they're looking to support any particular kind of manager style or personality or political agenda. So I feel very comfortable having that meeting.
Thank you.
Another question, is that a consultant fee that
Yes.
Yes.
you pay them, and then based upon
How much
the
we
a la
consult.
carte items, you
Yep.
have to search from, then they build the
Exactly.
profile of the cost.
Yep.
Ms. Mayor?
I just wanted to say from an employee standpoint, I think the sooner the better. The urgency is there to get this taken care of, especially with Linda. March is only 4 months away, and we have to get a new city clerk also and a city manager, and then for us employees, that's filling 2 very big sets of shoes in a short period of time. So I would hope that you would consider this an urgent matter.
We do.
The consensus I see from the council here, I will make contact with them now.
I just wanted to say that it's my intention to retire at some point in 2016. I have sometime after March 31st. I had a drop dead date in my mind of June 1st, but I'm willing to be here as long as necessary.
So, I'm hearing all the comments tonight from the audience and everyone.
Did you have something else? I'd just make one more remark. With the comments that I've heard, it seems like the elephant in the room is that this council has, the rumor on the street is that they have the intention of picking someone local. Three names came up who are very involved with the Red Tunnel Festival. And I think that would be a huge mistake. We need a professional, one with the background that would fill the shoes of a manager. We don't need someone just because they're from this community.
Thank you.
Running back on the mission.
Hearing everyone's comment tonight, I will make contact with MML, start this process.
Mr. Mayor, just to clarify, because I'm going to be compiling this list, do you want me to give the entire list to the MML, or do you want another meeting where we target the most important things?
We can compile a list and everything, and we have the first meeting. Run that by me again, Jerry. And we'll go ahead and consolidate all the concerns tonight. I'll get hold of them now, we'll set up an appointment. They will send a representative here to talk to us. We can present that issue and notes and all this stuff to them at that point. And all that questions of us, we can answer.
So to clarify, we aren't going to have another meeting to try to narrow the list.
I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing that we're making whatever, what's the will of the
That's what I'm
council?
saying.
What's the will of the council then?
That's what I'm
I'd
asking.
rather have another meeting and shorten the list.
Okay.
And what that gonna gain?
Pardon me?
And what that gonna gain?
That's gonna gain simplicity, and hopefully we can get that list to the representatives from MML before they get here, so they can have some thoughts about it.
What's the done trying to narrow it down?
Suggestion might be on this list about 60% is character related. In other words, it's not relevant to the position of common character and decency. So I think we could probably separate half of that out altogether. Maybe call it character.
And that's what you were saying,
But qualifications for legal and all the other macro vision of Cedar Springs.
And I'm sure they could, yeah.
They can, that was the question. Are we paying them to narrow the list? Or are we narrowing it?
My guess is MML has a framework for you that a lot of stuff is already in. You got information from MML, and double check what they have as compared to what you have. You might have a lot of time in that.
Okay. I will check on the list. Good recommendation.
Okay. From now on, we'll get hold of them now. Mr. Conley will consolidate the list and have a list for us to look at to give to them, or however it works out on December 3rd.
Okay, I'm still unclear. Are we having another meeting to
I
consolidate?
just said we will put that together and we will have the list by December 3rd.
The big list that we will hand to MML.
Does that work?
Before they come.
Yeah, it'll be ready when they come. This
No,
list.
before they come.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get hold of MML, we'll get a date from them when they'll be here.
I think the meeting will be a lot more constructive if they already have the list and they're thinking about it and they can prepare questions or comments.
I'm going to compile it over the weekend, and I will disseminate it out to the city clerk and to council. Yeah?
Because we are gonna pay them to come,
Right.
so we want it to be
Or
as constructive as possible.
Okay, what's the will of council here?
Well, my thing is, I don't know if I can attend meetings every Thursday night. So my guy, if we can move this along, getting MML here as soon as we can, because we've got to get at least what's this gonna cost us before we give them a bunch of stuff anyway. This all, if they're here at the same time we compile this list, well, you don't know when they can make it. So
What do we
that's
wanna
when
do?
we contact them.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we have are we allowed to have motion? Or we just having consensus?
Having consensus. Jocelyn.
I would prefer to have a meeting where we consolidate the list into a smaller bundle, as was suggested here, that we separate the things that are character items from the actual skill levels and skill items that we want,
Qualifications.
When did you wanna have that meeting?
and get, what we need the next Thursday after Thanksgiving,
The 3rd.
the 3rd of December.
Okay.
That's my idea.
It would be nice if we could combine that consolidation and ask if we could get a rep in here to chit chat with us about their stuff at the same meeting.
I will try to get them here that day,
If they could be there, it'd be wonderful.
or sooner. Okay, by that date, that gives us 2 weeks to sit down and do this.
Kind of get a combo.
Everybody okay with that?
I'd like to see another meeting like Dan, but I'm gonna be out of town for 2 weeks, I guess.
Well, you're no help, Bob.
Well, right now, we've got it set December 3rd.
I can do something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Madam Cleary?
Are you good with the 3rd?
Yep, I may be a couple
Yeah,
minutes late,
right now,
my
no.
winter hours start next week, where I'm gonna be opening out later. So I won't get done until 7 unless I can find somebody to cover my shop for it.
Madam Clerk, I'll call a special meeting December 3rd. with
7
this.
PM?
Correct. Public is welcome.
I will compile this list by Sunday, and I will separate it into character traits and skills,
I will call in and out.
and I
If we get
will
a rep-
disseminate it and to the city clerk.
And we're gonna get that list to the MML person before they come.
Hopefully, yes.
I'm gonna give it to the city clerk.
Mr. Mayor,
To
if I
give
may,
to them.
very brief.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
I would recommend that when you make contact with MML, they provide you their template form, that you also have the Mayor Pro Tem include that in that and submit it for that recommendation, because I believe you're gonna find that the list from the MML includes all of your
Okay,
topics here, and it's already been trimmed down.
okay. I didn't do that.
I talked to them about it, and then before we would have to make that decision for them, and then they will present all that information to us. So we'll have lots of information, so, okay, everybody on the same track? Okay, thank everyone for here tonight. Okay, moving on to item B, discussion regarding setting a special joint meeting with Solon Township in discussion of the fire study results. Mr. Taylor, did you want to speak to that?
No, it's just that the consultant is asking both, the city and the township to consider a joint meeting, so he doesn't have to present it twice, and it just made sense. But he wanted to find out if the council was interested in doing something along those lines. Makes sense to me.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Glad there's a database.
Okay, there's, yeah, get with him or whomever and set the date and we'll work that way. Fraser, Chief Fraser, do you have anything you want to input on that? No. Yeah? You're caught without words?
At this time, no.
Thank you. Okay, we'll set a meeting date with that joint meeting for Solon Township to discuss the fire study results. Moving on, item number 7. Any other business to come before this council this evening? Hearing none. Council comments, Mr. Hopkins.
Oh, you know, we're talking about people's work here, talking about the work that our city manager, what we want him for, our current staff we have. We see Tom's face a lot, we see Marty's face a lot, we see you guys, there are some people we have that work for us, work for Tom, that we never see. The day I went to pick up the barrels for the Halloween spectacular, seen a person working at the wastewater plant, I've never seen before. I'm like, oh, we got people to work for us and I don't know. I would think it'd be really nice if at some point we can get to where we acknowledge our staff and the value that they have and offer some sort of awarding to them. You know, have their supervisor or whatever, you know, put them in a pool or whatever and see what they think, you know, who deserves, you know, for that month or that quarter or whatever, and give them acknowledgement.
Employee in the month?
Yeah. Employee of the month, employee of the quarter. When we run a city, it's really no different than any other corporation or any other business. These people, they take pride in what they do. And if you don't give them that acknowledgement, all they hear is the run down, well, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. They get low self-esteem. And then when they feel they do not, you don't care about their work ethic, why should they bother to do a good job? So I think we should give some sort of acknowledgement, even if it's quarterly, annually, whatever.
Okay.
Okay,
Good point.
great idea.
Mr. Truesdale, you have anything to say tonight?
And I agree with you. In fact, in my mayor tenure, and I came under fire for the employee, you know, the citizens recommending an employee of the month, someone that had done something a little extra special. And my award was a $50 gift check that they could take their spouse out to dinner or something of that sort. This has been a good meeting. I did want to clarify that I came under attack after last week's meeting when I said I had no comments. You and I have not agreed on many things, but I wish you much success. Actually, I have no animosity at all. And I want you to know that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Enough said.
Well, I thank everyone very much for coming. You know, I think that someone earlier hit the nail on the head that apathy runs rampant, but I thank you all so much for giving up your Thursday evening to come out here and give us some direction. It's been incredibly valuable to me, and again, you know, I hadn't thought about it, but Perry, that's an excellent idea. When I call the city employees, they come, they do their job well, whether it's been the fire department. I had a DPW come out to my house at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is an hour that no one should be expected to be civil, and he was very nice and very helpful. I think that's an excellent idea, we should look into that.
Thank you.
Clerk. Well, piggybacking on what Molly just said, it's very clear that we have all the apathetic people not here. We have people on both sides of the fence, very clearly those who feel like that this council does have the best interest of the city at heart, and we are trying to do our best job to fulfill that role that we were elected to do. And we never expect that we're going to be perfect. At least I never do, and I don't think any of these folks up here ever thought that, or that we would have everybody agree with us. But I think I can speak for myself. I know I can speak for myself, and I think I can speak for everybody up here that we are doing the best job that we know how. We have some gifted people. We have some educated people up here. We are not people without some talents and skills. We do appreciate your comments. Some of them are probably unnecessary, but they allowed you to speak your concerns. And that's valuable, because we want to hear you speak, even if they're not what we want to hear. So again, thank you for coming. Pro or con, we're doing what we can, and we think that we're doing a job that will be for the benefit of the community. Appreciate your support.
Mrs. Powell.
Well, I'll go ask one more question, possibly. You know, to talk about macro and vision. What is the vision of the council, and what is the real vision of Cedar Springs going forward in terms of growth opportunities on the commercial side, residential? What is the real common denominator for growth or happiness?
We're in the process of updating our master plan, like right now.
And you're welcome to join, we'd like to.
We'll put you to work.
Okay. Not much, I can't, my time is, I go everywhere.
Can we use you as an advisor, or?
It depends on what area of advice you need.
Okay, well, we may be approached.
No, I was curious though, other than the statement on the city of Cedar Springs, is there a?
We have a master plan,
We're following pretty much the master plan.
Okay.
and we're in the process of updating that right now.
I got some stuff right after you
Okay.
talk to you.
Ms. Powell, do you have any closing comments?
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody when it comes along. The roads look marvelous, the new roads. I'm glad they got done, nobody got hurt, it looks like everything went well. And I couldn't be happier, very proud of all the folks that worked on it. And, I just really happy tonight that everybody's here. And the guidance and the positive remarks and the criticisms, they all come when you're sitting here, and I love it. And I guess one of the most, I went to a lecture of 1,000 letters, and the gal talked about her father saying he was in Germany in the middle of the war, and things were bombed out, and his friends had been shot and killed, and it was just a horrible situation. And they had a Thanksgiving mass in a bombed out home or church, whatever it was. And they said, well, what would you be thankful for? You're in the middle of this horrible war. And he said, we all were thankful that our families were not here. And that was their Thanksgiving. So, just something to think about our history and our freedom. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mrs. Powell. Mrs. Conlon.
Just to conclude, I will compile everything. I feel this community input was emphasized probably on my part. I have participated in hiring a superintendent when I was in the school board and a city manager. And I feel that it's very important for the community to feel that they have a voice. And while, yes, we can all agree they need to have a bachelor's degree, as I said, master's preferred, we can all agree they need these certain qualifications, I think it's helpful when you listen to the interviews to hear these characteristics that you said you wanted and weigh them against those interviews. And if you didn't have that input, you wouldn't be able to do that. You're on the outside. And I don't want you on the outside. I want you on the inside. And that's part of being part of that process. And we're willing to do the heavy lifting, and we're willing to bring in MML and do those things, but you need to have a seat at the table, or at least it needs to be offered.
Thank you. We'll have a lot more meetings on this topic of manager selection to come. Please watch for the special meetings. We'll be having one December 3rd at 7 o'clock here. We'll be in touch with MML, start this process going through MML. On that, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and foremost, all your input tonight. We want you to have a say in this process. Meeting adjourned.
If anyone has additional things, please email them to me, or send them to the city clerk.
The white one? Yep.